Hey guys, Ramblin Bob with another update with the EB3A from Bluetti. Okay, so in that last video that we had some trouble with the app trying to turn on that turbo. I found out what it was. It was very simple, and it was my mistake. What happens is when you use this really powerful, 500, 600, 700 watts, it heats up the batteries and it doesn't allow the turbo charging because the batteries are warm. That's a protection, so that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Let me show you what I mean. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug this bad boy in here, and now it's cooled down, of course, and there we go. And this is probably only a day, maybe 15. Well, what time is it? It's 2:20 a.m. So it's about 8 hours after I made that other video. So I'm going to update this as quick as I can. But notice it shot up right away, and it's on standard charging. That's normal. Okay, so when it's cool, it charges normal, and then the fan kicks on. But because we were using all those heaters in that last test, a few hours it kind of cooled down. But you remember that I had said that let's see, you remember I had said there was a lightning bolt kind of thing. We're gonna see what that does. Right up in here, I had a thing that said temp. So what that means is it doesn't allow it to charge at the super speed because of the temperature of the batteries is not safe. It's too high. So it waits till it calms down, cools down, and then it charges. Okay, so watch this. Okay, so we're 264 out. So we know that that's standard charging. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch that to, see, it's on standard. And then I'm going to switch that to silent mode. And then you'll see that drop down in real time. Let's go back here. And then I'll go down to like maybe 100 watts or so. See, it drops down to about 107, 104, 102. And then, that keeps it from turning the fans on. So, you don't bother people when they're sleeping or, in the same room reading a book or, whatever they're doing. Okay, now, so you go back here. And like I said, this is new for me. This is new technology for me because this is the first system we've ever had with an app. And let's see here. Now, so you go to turbo now, okay? And then you have to okay it because it says you shouldn't use this, unless you really need it. Okay, now watch this power ramp up, guys. Okay, so we got 260, 280. See how that ramps up? And now you're all the way up to that 430 watts, guys. That's crazy. So this is, remember, there's only a 268 watt-hour battery, okay? And you're putting 430 watts into it. That's why it's not recommended. It's because you're actually overpowering the batteries. But look at how fast you could do this. 0.5 hours, and this thing will be full. 0.4 almost. It's at 17%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this go a little bit. And then that's your real power out, which is about 460. Now, remember, guys, this power strip here is actually hooked to my Pecron system. So you can see that the voltage, you see how it dropped down? My Pecron system is only 110 volts. So if I were to plug this in a system that is 120 volts, this might be a little bit higher, actually. So let me see. Give me 1 second, okay? I'm just going to run over here and get a cord and hook it into my 120. And then we're going to see what the difference is here. Okay. All right, my cat is staring at me funny because I'm talking to myself in my workshop again. All right, so here, this line coming in now, guys, is off the grid, so the main house. Okay, let's turn this back on here. That screen, it goes on standby to save power. So now what we're going to do is we're going to unplug it here, okay? Here we just unplug the whole thing, okay? That'll kill the charge. All right, and then keep this plugged in. And now remember, this plug right here, this plug is coming in at 120 volts. So what I'll do is I'll show you first before I plug it in. Okay, then we'll put it like that here. And now you can see, now we have 120 volts. This is normally how you would charge it. If you're going to charge from a power station, I'd recommend DC to DC charging. But now you can actually see, hopefully that'll stay there. Now you got 120 volts. So now let's plug it in and see what kind of turbo power we can get. If it's going to be 430, it might be the same. I don't know. Like I said, this is a new box for us. So we're going to try everything. And I just wanted to make sure that I updated this because I promised I'd update it. and let people know why that we couldn't, you know, get that max power. That's because the batteries were warm, guys. That's all. All right, see, so okay, so it maxed out at 430, but notice it dropped down only about 2.2 volts. So it didn't really matter if it came from 120 or 110, but I wanted you to see the difference, you know. And then here it shows 438 from the grid, and let's see what it was actually from the grid here. Let's go to, whoop, whoop, I missed it. Right there, okay, so 460. And then, you know, that's about right, because 460 minus the inversion, or conversion, that would leave about 25 watts out. And that's the, you know, it takes power to make power kind of thing. So when it converts power from 120 down to whatever that has to go into, I think that's a 20-some volt battery, so it has to downstep that, and that costs energy. There's the fans, guys. But notice that I think we started, what, at 17, guys? Oop, that's, I wish that screen would stay on until you turn it off. Okay, see, okay, so that right there, you see that little, hopefully you can see that, guys. I'm gonna try to get closer. You see that little, hold on, let me take my camera out of my my little stand here. Okay, so I got the camera out of the stand, guys. So you see that right there? That little icon is what I was used to seeing, and notice that's the one that's right there. But the one that I saw, it goes up here. So if you overpower the system and then it's too hot for the turbocharging, you'll see a little exclamation point here, which is what we were talking about before, and that means you can't charge it until that goes away and the batteries are in a safe. Okay, so let me put my camera back in my little stand here. I got one of those little GoPros. It's pretty sweet, but I'd like to get better equipment. And there you go. And then that's the fan, guys. That's hecka loud. That's a loud one. But remember, you're really pushing in the power. So all you have to do, look how fast that's going. I mean, that's crazy. We went up from 17 to 25 in what? This video is only 7 minutes long, and already you're up there. So that's why you're only recommended to do that when you really need power. So if you turn that off, you go in here, charging mode, and you go back to standard, okay, and then back. Now watch what happens to that. It instantly drops down to that safe, which is like 200, I think it's 260, yeah, 268. So right in that area, 265, something like that. It'll bounce, it'll go up and down. And then you can even do more. Notice the fan is starting to go down just a tad, and you can go down to silent mode, and then go back. And now you see that drop down to that like $1.05 or something. Like goes like, yeah, $1.05. So that means that once it cools down, those fans would, yeah, that's very loud. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's very loud. But you only, there, it's starting to ramp down. You only use that, guys, if you have an emergencies. You know, like I need power, I gotta get out of here, do whatever. Last minute kind of thing. Boy, you can charge that sucker in no time. It'll take, what does it say, about hour 8, an hour 0.9, and this is slow mode, guys. You know, 100 and, was it about 125 out and 106 in, 103. Notice it's pulling about 105. These are always going to be different, guys, because there's a delay. You know what I mean? You're always going to have a delay. Okay, so now it's ramping down, it's cooling off. And then let's see here, let's put it to standard again, just so you can see all this stuff. Pretty neat technology, man. This has really caught me by storm. Just man, I wish I had this 20 years ago, I really do. Oh, and the light, guys, look at this, 1 watt out, right? 2 watts out. I know that's really bright, and I'm sorry, but look at that, guys. That's really cool, because this one works, and then you have your SOS thing. So at least it works this time, guys. We've had that on for about, I don't know, maybe an hour or 2 straight, and we didn't see the need to leave it on anymore. If it would have burned out this time, it definitely would have burned out with an hour or 2 of 100, you know, plus degree temperature. That thing about putting your hand there over that little tiny light like that could really save your fingers from frostbite. It's really, really powerful as far as a finger-saving, life-saving thing. I think it's a military thing. But see, now you're down to 261, and notice it still charges fast enough, guys. Like a 0.7 hours, and this bad boy will be done. So you can speed charge it if you want. Here, let's push it up again here. and this is how fast that you can change it just by going like that. Okay, basically what you're doing is you're letting the app know, hey, I wouldn't recommend this, but I need it, kind of thing. And then notice there's that little icon again. I hope you can see that. And then 430 in, and then you got 460 from the grid. Oops. And then watch how fast this bad boy charges. And then of course that heat is going to kick on, and that fan's going to kick on again. Because guys, that's 268 watt hours, and you're putting in 430. That's a lot, man. That's really a lot. I mean, it's like 150% of what this battery is. And usually you're not supposed to charge more than what the battery is, because remember, it's 100% input, you know, for the battery cells. So they have some kind of a system inside there, obviously, that can do it safely. But like I said, it will deteriorate the battery cells if you keep doing that over and over and over. That and the powerlifting, guys, I do not recommend you use the powerlifting mode all the time. That is a once in a while thing. Okay, now the fan's going to kick up again. You know, I need something right now. I need to warm up water. I'm camping. You know, boiling water, make food, something like that. That's just like, I need that. You know what I mean? Emergency, whatever. Power tools, if you need a power tool or something like that, and you need it right now to fix something so you can get out of a tight spot or something like that. But I just wanted to, you know, make this video, like I said, because the last one ended kind of weird because we weren't sure what was wrong, and now we fully understand every little part of it, as far as the box has to cool down before you initiate the turbocharging. So now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. And you know, that does make sense, because think of it, you're driving your car in the summer, right? And your car is like super duper hot, right? Your radiator's like getting ready to get some steam on it. Your car will not start sometimes because it's just too hot. It's a safety that's in your car. Boy, that is loud when you're on turbo mode. 0.3 hours though, boy, that's fast. You know, you try to start your car, and next thing you know, it just goes rrr, 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 and it just won't go because the engine's just too hot. It's a safety thing. You know, you don't want to have any fires or anything, so that's obviously programmed in these little boxes to make sure that you stay safe, and that's important. That's important, you know. All right, let's watch a few more, and then I'll end the video here, but we'll watch how fast it goes up. It's fun to watch this sucker go quick, because I got that big system, that 8 kilowatts, and I'll tell you what, these numbers, man, you're lucky if they go up, you know, 1% every 10 or 20 minutes. I mean, you know, and I got a lot of solar, but to watch these go up fast again, that's pretty cool, because that's how I started. I started with a small, I started with a small 600 watt power station, and I think it took like 3 or 4 hours to charge it, and I thought, boy, that's the bee's knees right there, man. That's the cat's meow. It definitely is fast. And then all of a sudden I got into started getting into some serious power, where you're bringing in, you know, 2,000 plus watts every hour, and then you start going, wow, that's a lot of power. That's dangerous, you know. I would like to get up to like a 5 or a 10,000 watt system, where if you plug that in, obviously it wouldn't take that much, but then you have multiple arrays, so you could have like you know, 2,000 or 2,500 on that system and 2,500 on this system, or you know, like 2,000, 2,000, and 1,000 can be your backup system for your array. Here, it went up another percent. And another percent. You can see that really eats that power. I couldn't imagine the strain that's doing on the battery inside there. As far as you're basically putting, you know, you drive your car and you push the gas, you know, pedal like this to go to work. Well, that's going like that all the way to the floor to put that stuff in here. Let's see some temps here. So you got 91. Now notice the light is obviously cool. I think it was down at what, 86, 87 in there. And then you got the screen is 90, 89, so it's relatively very cool. And then we'll go to the top, and notice the top is 97. Obviously heat goes upwards, so that's obvious. Let's see, yeah, see 96.9. I can't really see a higher one here, 98.2, and that's nothing, guys. I would expect a lot more heat. It feels like, to the touch, it feels like it's warmest right here. Let me see what that is here. Yeah, 98.3, and then this side is 95. So just by touch, you can feel that this is obviously where either the heat sinks or the what's it called? I apologize. All the circuitry is right here. It's probably like a fan that goes up, and then over, or I'm sorry, this way and then down or something like that. But However it works, the hot air is coming out over here. So let's see what the hot air is. Let's see. Yeah, see 102. So that's the air coming out of there's 102. That's not bad. That's really not bad. I mean, like I said, look at what you're pushing in there, guys. Look at 42%. So if I were to let this video go for like maybe 10 or 15 minutes, this bad boy would be charged. All right, I just wanted to let you guys know I'm going to go back to regular because, like I said, I don't recommend this unless you really need something quick. I'm going to go to standard, and I'm going to take that pressure off those battery cells. But it works, guys, so no worries. It wasn't a bad one. This one's perfect. I'm going to do a little bit more testing. We got the 100 watts out. The light works. ACs work. I got to check the DC again. The wireless charging, I wait for my wife to bring her phone. And then it looks good. Bluetti, thank you very much for sending this to me. I really appreciate that. It's wonderful to be in the Bluetti family. I like to be in any of the families and the Scriber family and everything. Let's build a huge family here where we can test this stuff and really see what it can do. All right, ramble on, be safe, guys, and I'll see you next time on Ramblin Bob Reviews. Bye.